Hey, what's happening, y'all? You are tuned in to the Footwork Out channel. I'm your homeboy, DJ Cornerstone. Today, on episode 6A of Give Us the Works, I'll be interviewing Jay Kishi, the producer, and also member of Creation Global Atlanta. So check it on out. And without further ado, give us the works, Jay Kishi.
Footwork Out.
Man, there we go.
Hey, what's up?
Dude, my heart's
Jeez.
pumping and everything.
No, man, technical difficulties suck.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? And it's never done that before. Yeah, hey,
Dang.
I guess it's gonna do what it's gonna do, you know? Yeah. Jay Kishi, man, what's happening?
What's happening, man? Thanks for having
Man, I'm chilling, man, after a good long day's work, you know?
me. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, man. Dude, I'm so glad you're able to join us for the show, man. On Foot Workouts, I got the channel on YouTube called Foot Workout, and I do these called Give Us the Works episodes where I interview producers such as yourself, DJs and dancers and everything, man. So, hey, man, we're going to get right into it, though. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's do it.
Right on, man. Hey, so first off, man, where you from?
So I'm from Sacramento, California, but I actually live in Atlanta.
Oh,
And that's where I've been for pretty much most of my I came here in college and then I went back to California for a little bit and then I came back here. So I've been here like combined probably like 7-8 years.
all right on. Okay, 7 or 8 years, man. I lived there for a little bit some years ago, man. I got
Oh,
much
yeah.
love for the ATL, man. I got friends there that's so close, man. They're family, man. So much
Nice.
respect to Atlanta, man. Man,
Yeah.
right on. It's cool. Hey, man. So one of the final 8 of Chicago Footwork Allergies work the beat battle. How'd that feel for you?
That was yeah, that was something. I read or I was watching your interview with Goldrat earlier
Yeah.
and
Okay.
when you said on Instagram, you said you showed the clip where you said like when Corey entered and when you saw that Rock entered and Lucky, and I was like, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, okay, well then I guess this is just like we'll just see what happens, I guess, because I was like certain that DJ Rock or Corey would win.
Yeah. Man, hey, but that was real good and humble of y'all, man. To kind of have that, the attitude. But I'm gonna tell you, don't doubt yourself, man, because you had your track was cold. Yeah, on the
Thanks.
real. That
Thank you.
and I was just listening. I was unfortunately I wanted to play your song extra crisp in the beginning. So how about we make that as the outro? Because I want people to
Okay.
hear your
Yeah,
music, man. But
for sure.
that one you put in there too, man. That pause little bit track. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to do something to it because that was hidden.
Yeah, that was another one where I was like, I made it, and then the guy whose voice is on all of my tracks, he's a
Uh-huh.
friend of mine who's actually one of the Creation Atlanta chapter members with me.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, he's from Chicago originally.
All right
Um,
on.
so he knows the music better than me, but you know, because of the pandemic, like we couldn't get together and like collaborate in the studio and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which I would really wanted to do. But I just started making stuff with the voice recordings that we had, and we had this idea of like, uh, yeah, like kind of making something to honor like different people that we just have set these milestones and stuff like that, and like Pause Eddie and a little bit just being the first footworkers to be on the VMA stage at the MTV VMAs was like something that we were like, yeah, let's do that. And he encouraged me to finish that one. I actually wasn't feeling that one for the longest time, to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
It's just one of those things with I think it's just like one of those things with like being creative. Like you never know with your audience or whoever's listening, like or consuming your work. You don't know who's gonna resonate with it or like what's gonna resonate with people, because you want to be like, yeah, you just like there's always a separation there. I don't want to like just make something just to please people, like but I also don't want to not I don't want to just do me and not listen to what people want at the same time. So it's always a balance. But yeah, that one was I'm glad I finished that, and I'm glad people have enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was nice, man. That was real nice. So like tell me, for one, like how long have you been into making footwork tracks?
Yeah. So I think I basically started in 2017 a little bit, kind of dabbling. I mostly make like hip hop, R&B, kind of electronic music,
Yeah.
which I've been doing for, yeah, I've been doing that for a while now, probably like 6 or 7 years, like kind of starting out like more casual and then getting more serious as, it's just what happens. But yeah, with the footwork tracks, it was just kind of like I was like, let me see if I can make something. Cause, just being into music, when you and someone who makes music, like when you hear something and it catches your attention, you
Mhm.
want to think about, or at least for me, I always think about like, oh, how did they make that? Like, if it's like if it's electronic music, I try to think about like, oh, what drum machine is that, or like what drum sounds are they using, or like how could I recreate this synthesizer sound, um and stuff like that. So I went into it just like trying to trying to have fun with it and explore, and then just going along the way, getting more into footwork in the dance side. It just kind of like I would kind of bounce back and forth between the music and the dance, kind of spending a little time on the music, spending a little time on the dance at the same time. Yeah, that was kind of like how it happened. But yeah, 2017 is around when I started that.
Okay.
Both the dance and the music at the same time,
Okay.
basically.
So are you I'm sorry if I missed it. Are you a part of creation as well?
Yeah, I'm a Creation Atlanta member.
Creation.
I don't have it in my bio. I took it out a while ago because um I was trying to like redo my like bio, and then I just completely forgot about it.
Man. Yeah, hey, it's a lot of stuff to try to keep up with, man, with the
Yeah.
setting up all your stuff with all the different social medias and all that, man. So don't feel bad. I still not done with all mine. I try to get my Spotify right. I finally put my bio on there, but I don't have a picture on there. So it's some work, man. I wish I could just pay somebody to do it, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel that though, man. Man, that's cool. So you got them works on because I know creation is cold, man. They
Yeah.
definitely you guys are in sync, man, with the footwork.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge inspiration for me just to have like that associated with me, to like I always feel like I need to be doing more,
Mhm.
and that's an important thing, I think, just in general, because yeah, especially during the pandemic, like everybody's isolated, you know,
Mhm.
having that overarching like community aspect to it, even if I'm not interacting with people, or anything like that, it's still like, oh, like I see people on, I see Kelly on social media and she's putting in work. I see Miki on social media and she's putting in work. So it's like, I better clock in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much been like the main driving force. Like first, like having creation members. So it started because one of the creation members from Chicago originally, named Ron the Great, he moved
Okay.
to Atlanta, and he's the one who basically started the chapter here and taught all of us. And so that motivation, and always having like it's also like awesome because that gives me a easy way to test, like, oh, are the tracks like where they need to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know I feel like, if you're not if you don't come from like the dance side of it, then you don't really have that perspective. It would be like, yeah, that's like what it needs to sound like.
Yeah. And that's cool, man. That's good that you get feedback from, your crew members, man.
Mhm.
So that's all good right there, man. So can you tell me like what's your goal with your music? Because you got some bangers. I listened to some of you get your hip hop beats and stuff, and I'm gonna tell you right off the top, I like how you have the the Japanese anime and all that, and the
Mm.
like going with it and like the different scenes. I mean, one of them looked like it was something. So I'm gonna just tell you, man. I'm an '80s kid, man. I'm like 40 years old, and you took me back. One of them, man, I used to watch as a kid was here. It was called Channel 26, and it was called Samurai Sunday on the U, and they have all the karate flicks. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
one of them looked like it was about to be a showdown, man. These two dudes kind of staring, eyeing at each other. I was like, oh man, they about to
Oh
go
yeah.
back. Yeah, I was like, but that kind of pulls you in the visual, and then the music kind of matches the scene and stuff too. So I'm digging that. But I'm rambling, man. My bad. I forgot what our dog gonna ask you.
Yeah.
So your goal with your music, I think, is what it was. What you trying to?
Yeah. That's a great question. I honestly haven't really thought about that like that specific way, but
Mhm.
um for me, like music, and like there's a lot of people who said this, so I'm not gonna say it like the best way, but I think David Bowie said something about like like art is good, is best when it's made by somebody trying to understand themselves by making something and seeing how the world interacts with it.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's kind of where I feel like that's kind of where I feel my like kind of goal is just like I like I like just making things. Like obviously it's like, you know, it's a really I like being creative, but beyond that, I think for me, um, I like trying to find ways to put parts of like, you know, like the samurai stuff. Like I'm half Japanese, and
Right.
um so having uh being half means that sometimes people don't recognize me as being Japanese right away, or like they don't recognize me as being Asian, um, or being half in general. Like, so I've kind of purposefully and partially just because it's like stuff I like. You know, I like anime, I like samurai movies, I like all these things. I like Japanese food, and so like trying to find ways to just like cram more and more of like the things that I like into what I put out there is kind of like uh yeah, just how I go about it. And so as far as my goals with music, it's just um trying to put out things that will give people an idea of who I am, and I want to see what they think of it, to see what like yeah, just it's just like a cool like exchange, because I feel a certain way about, like I was saying, the Pause Eddie track or like different tracks that I've made that I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like it would have just sat on my hard drive, but then when it's out there, you know, it could be the boost that I need to just like keep going. So as far as like tangible goals, I don't really have like anything in particular. It's just like, um, yeah, putting stuff out there. Oh, and then I guess working with other people is something that's really important to me. So I really want to hone my skill set as a musician, as a producer, so that I can kind of hop in with basically anybody and contribute. Um, I really take the idea of like a producer as like being really important to me, because it's not, you know, just about me. It's about, you know, if somebody's on the mic in front of me, they are the ones that I'm trying to support. I'm not doing it just for me. And so whether it's hip hop or pop or R&B or whatever, if I'm working with a vocalist or a dancer, you know, I want to make something for them to express themselves too.
Yeah,
So that's something I'm really interested in.
man, that's good. That's good right there. And you know what? And I like when producers and DJs do that. When you put stuff in the music that allows for the dancer to express it, just to pull it out, so people can not only hear the music, they can see what's going on with it. You know, and everybody, of course, puts their own little spin on it. So that's
Right.
a good thing right there. Man. I'm digging that. Okay, okay, right on. So far, who all have you collaborated with music wise?
I have a few different people. I'm I've worked with a few people like throughout, like kind of like coming up and like learning music production, and then more recently I've worked with some other people, but um a lot of them have been because I was a dancer. Like I started dancing in high school with like hip hop and locking and popping, stuff like that.
Yeah.
um and that was like a huge part of my life, all the way through basically the end of college. And anytime I met somebody who was like doing who's interested in music, I tried to like even if I didn't like get them in like actually like making music with me, I like tried to talk to them about music and stuff. So one of the people who I've worked with is my friend Dante. He goes by the name Animal in the dance community. He's based in LA, and he's a singer and a producer as well, and a rapper and a dancer. He wears a lot of hats,
Yeah.
but a few other people. A friend of mine who is actually in grad school in New York, and he raps on with me, or he raps on my beats that we we kind of like work on them kind of together. But basically I'll like send him some beats and then he'll rap on them. And then I've met a few other people around Atlanta, and then also just around the internet that I've worked with a bit. Also the person I mentioned before, his name is Mario or Rio from Creation Atlanta. And yeah, just that's something that's more of like a now goal that wasn't a goal in the past, is to work with more people.
Okay. Man, right on. Yeah, I got to find out about this, man, where y'all meet and all that, because I typically, man, I visit Atlanta probably, for one point in time, we were going like every year, either during the summer or we breezed through there real quick. Like we were there last year for a couple of days. But yeah, it'd be dope, man, to get a little cipher in,
Yeah, man.
Get some works in. I appreciate it, because I love my brothers down there, but don't know them footwork, but
yeah. I mean, that's all credit to Ron, as well as like Be Fluent and some of the other Creation members. Like the dance community, as far as like hip hop and all styles, popping, breaking community, has seen the footwork dancers come out, the Creation members and people who are learning footwork come out enough times to events that at least they know it, not just from like watching World of Dance clips from King Charles on the internet. Like they've seen it in the flesh. And so I mean, it's not, I'm not saying like you go to any club in the city and you start footworking and they'll switch on some tracks, but it's we want to keep like kind of applying pressure in that way, just to like make it known, because like we all care about it, obviously, from the music and the dance side. So and Atlanta's a great place where I've found that a lot of people are pretty open-minded to like just learning new things and trying out new things, especially in dance, but I think in music as well.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that too, man, as far as trying to push to get the music out there, and get it in the parties, get it in the clubs. And man, hopefully, man, my expectation, I said it before, man, I believe it's going to eventually, sooner than what we think, hit the mainstream radio, man. And
Right on. So check it out. That's it for today's episode with our brother in the footwork, Jay Kishi. But we ain't done yet. He will be back next week. We're going to finish up the second half of the interview. And y'all stay tuned, because he's going to share some more information about his new project and how he plans to use his music to help the world. And also how he came up on his footwork skills, y'all. You don't want to miss it, so check it out. It'll be next week for episode 6B, more Jay Kishi. But until then, hey, y'all take care of yourself. God bless you, and have a wonderful day or night wherever you are at in the world right now. Later.